Yo guys, welcome back to another Five Nights Tower Defense video, and today we have a pretty special video because we are going to be looking at our first completely maxed out tower, and we're going to start off with an interesting one because it's going to be Seven Seas Foxy. So this is quite literally completely maxed out. We have the absolute best supports with attack support, range support, and slowing support. And I also got it shiny, so it slows down the enemies by 75% instead of 50%, which for sure makes the difference, which makes a huge difference. And every little stat counts when it comes to completely maxing out a tower and their performance. So the main reasons why I'm doing Seven Seas Foxy is because he recently got buffed and he seems pretty solid. He now costs 5,000 a place instead of 7,000 and does more DPS and has 4 placements, which overall adds up a lot, and he is way better than what he was before. And of course we got the shiny and the vengeance, and he is also actually one of the rarest towers in the game. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and take a look at the 7 Seas now and see how they do. But of course, I've got to try them out in nightmare mode and see how well they do. Let's hope that I can actually get through the first few phases. So this is how much range he starts off with. Okay, pretty good. And with his price change, I can actually start off with using him. That's pretty good. You can see he has 4 placements. So go ahead and give him the range boost and now the damage boost. Hopefully that will be enough. We can see that the piercing is already in effect. And now let's go ahead and place the next one. Oh, I probably should just be placing down the slows. There we go. It's gonna group everyone up together. Upgrading them does increase the slow, I'm pretty sure. And look how slow they are now. And we're gonna go ahead and place all of our Foxings down. Let's go ahead and max him out now. And he is doing 5,220 damage per 2.7 seconds. That's not even fully maxed out boosters. So let's go ahead and have Spring Bonnie be level 4. And he's now... Yep, that should be his correct damage. Let's go ahead and do the Hawaii Endo as well. But he's at 6,169.9 damage per 2.4 seconds. But at least you have 4 placements, so it's not completely over for him. We're just here to see if he can solo this with absolute max boosters, or at least see how far he will get. But honestly, seeming very good already. The piercing is obviously still a really good mechanic. Crying Child with the 75% slowness is extremely broken and will give 7 Seas the time and the grouping up of these enemies that 7 Seas needs to shine. I mean, just look at that. They're all being grouped up. The piercing just goes through all of them. The piercing doesn't even need to be a straight line, but of course when it's a straight line, it's still very optimal. And just look at this guy's range with the shiny Hawaii booster. Absolutely crazy. I'm gonna go ahead and calculate the DPS. And his DPS right now is at 2,570.79 damage per second. You can go ahead and look at that here. That's the damage and divided by its cooldown. And that's how much it should be per second. It was a little bit of a rough start. I probably could have placed down the supports better. I think having Crying Child. I think if I placed Crying Child way sooner, that would have helped out a lot. So there's a chance that I could have done this without taking any damage at all. But the main goal is to see if we can actually solo with him. I also did bring Witch Chica just in case he wasn't good enough for the start. But he was good enough, as you can see. It does seem like that the Crying Child's slowing is extremely strong for this. He doesn't have the most range ever as well. There's characters with more range with max boosters, but still obviously extremely good range. And like I've talked about before, he technically has infinite range because these projectiles go further beyond the actual range he can throw them. Either way, still doing really good. We can go ahead and take away this crying child to see how much of a difference it would make. But this guy seems to be really good anyways without the crying child. Crying child just makes it more of a guarantee. Let's actually go ahead and put crying child on the boss and see how slow the boss moves. You can just see that he is practically not moving at all. The shiny crying child is just a different beast. And now they are attacking the boss. And that is their DPS. Not that bad. They're mostly good for killing the swarms. But yeah, they did indeed solo all of this. I don't believe they can solo Endless 3 like Glitch Puppet can. But at least they can do Nightmare. And it's pretty goofy that like you can either use an extremely good team or you just boost, completely max out, and make a character look as good as possible to beat this game. And usually a AoE slash splashing type of character. But yeah, overall, pretty good showing of the Seven Seas. They're actually a valid character to use for sure. And I think he could take on Knight 7, which we obviously don't have Knight 7. But yeah, let's see how much of a difference it would be in Fnaf 4 when Fnaf 4 releases, because that was pretty easy for him. He could have done like a couple more rounds just by himself. I think that's just really showing how broken the supports are, and honestly how good the buffs were for him though. I think he would have done way worse without the buffs, and he wouldn't actually even be able to do it completely by himself. I would have to use a starter because he would be too expensive to place down at the start. Very satisfying to use these type of piercing characters though. Just seeing the projectile pierce through everyone and do damage to everyone. Anyways, is it worth getting a Vengeance Shiny 7 Seas Foxy? Honestly, no, not at all. Just get him for the collection if you're rich enough for that. But I wouldn't go out of my way to do all of this. But yeah, I hope you guys got a good example of how good his buffs were and showing a completely maxed out potential of him. I wish I had a normal 7 Seas to show how different the performance would be, but still cool to see their max performance. But yeah, hope you guys enjoy this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.